What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I have personally gotten a lot of slack for not supporting Andrew Tate. And of course, at first I used to be, let's say somehow in the middle. I was never really against the guy. I listened to some of the things that he talked about that I could align with and things like that. But ultimately, I was never really against Andrew Tate because, I do still have some favoritism towards the manosphere community, although I'm not in it anymore. And of course, he came right after the late, great Kevin Samuels, who of course I adored very much. So I was like, well, you know what? He's a half black brother. Let me try to go ahead and let the brother swing the bat. And of course, he's ultra rich, as they say, doing very well, as they say. And we know what's going on with brother Andrew Tate. But then here's something that I want to talk about. And Auburn Preach did a very good job on putting up these old clips of Mr. Tate. And this is him speaking openly and freely about his life. So I want to play this part of the clip. And then I want to come back.
So, seems like a lot of conservatives are turning on the Tates and the red pill in general.
What are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges which include human trafficking and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not it's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You girl. After you girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on CobraTape.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp degree that I'm
clever.
And that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. And you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it.
All right, guys. So that is Andrew Tate speaking openly and freely about what he does, how he makes his money to get women to do other things. I have no reason to believe that he's lying because he's going on to multiple podcasts explaining this. Okay. He's talking about this. That's what he does. Whatever. Okay. This is what he's saying. Now, with that being the case, I'd also like to talk about one thing else because Preach makes a very good point that I want to talk about in this clip. Let's play it.
It always kills me that these guys are now the advocates for men and like men suffering and all this stuff.
Yeah,
but they just made their empire of money on stealing from lonely, depressed men.
Yeah,
it just kills me. The irony is so mwah. It's like, hey, lonely, pathetic man, I'm going to save you, but I also made all my money by taking advantage of you. It's just so beautiful. I'm
gonna set it up so that I'm gonna create this thing with these girls.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take your money. Then I'm gonna turn around and take your money by making you hate these girls.
Yeah. It is crazy. That's like you put it in a holistic, you're right.
You double dipped. You double dipped.
Yo.
And it's the men saying, yo, Abba and Preacher, Simps and this and that, and rooting for this. You got double dipped.
So here's why Andrew Tate is a modern genius. Not only his marketing ploys, and his self-aggrandizing tactics and being extremely selfish. But what Andrew Tate has done is he's used women that he didn't care about to get the first part of the money, okay? Then turned around and told men how incompetent that he felt those ladies were. And then he came and grifted in the manosphere space while then saying, I'm not red pill. and then charged guys for courses, charged guys to come into groups, and he scammed a lot of men. And the men that he scammed brought in all of the wealth. Now these guys are turning against him. And let me just tell you this, man. Andrew Tate is a fraud. Okay, Andrew Tate's a fraud. Andrew Tate cares only about money. He doesn't care about anything else. One thing I can say about Kevin, we all have worked in this business, in this industry, and we have made pretty decent money. One thing I would say about Kevin, he never sold a course. He never sold things like that. He never sold a book, join my community, market this, market that, pay $50 a month. And of course he could have did that, and he could have got extremely wealthy at a time in which he had a lot of pull. I wouldn't say as much pull now as Andrew Tate, but when Kevin was alive, he was bigger than Andrew Tate. Okay, and Kevin did all of this without talking to the national media, without going to Tucker Carlson, although I felt he would have got there. But this is what Kevin had, at least some level of integrity in this, a lot. More than what I can say for a lot of creators who have that ability to make that money. But Andrew Tate is a user. And now people can't stick by that, because you can't have a guy that is going around. And again, I know people say things on the internet that are not cool, but to go around talking about this is how you do things to these ladies, and then you monetize them, then you come back and monetize these guys, and just for you to get all that wealth and be opulent, it shows me you're a lazy guy who doesn't want to work, and all you care about is using people, which is what's happened in the red pill. A lot of guys have been used. Now, let me just tell you this. I troll you guys in the comments when you talk shit about me. I might call some of you dusty, some of you broke, or whatever. You come from me, but it's never been off of no donation. I don't have no course. I work for everything I've got here. I stay up. I work every morning until 8 o'clock in the morning. Start sometimes at 4 or 5 p.m. or before then. I work throughout the day. I've dedicated my life to be in this business. I've never stolen anything from nobody, okay? I've never tried to come up with some course to sell to people or join in some community. And I'm not saying everybody who does that is a scammer, although a lot of YouTubers do that and they are scammers. I've never done it. I've never really charged people to help them in this business. I've typically always did it for free, okay? There was one guy who really, two guys really kept on me. And that was it, and they gave me a donation. But ultimately, I've done everything I have done for free. And the thing is, these are the guys who had a lot of pull in these spaces, and all they wanted to do was to use these guys. And they did it by using the women first, this guy in particular, and then the man. And what that shows me is, if you don't care about the first subset of the people that you stole the money from, you don't care about these guys. You don't. And I'm not saying that, in the sphere or in the red pill communities that you shouldn't be able to monetize or make money from being content creation. Sure, you got to, you have to support yourself. You have bills. You have all the things that you need to do. Granted, I understand that. I am one of the people that know that. But at the same time, using your male audience to live a lavish lifestyle, to have guys spend $4,000 to $5,000 in courses, when you know that this is not going to help them do anything, just because you can. It's using men blatantly. I cannot get down with that. I just can't. That is absolutely terrible, man. It is terrible. It is wrong. And again, I don't like that. All right. I know guys want to make money. I know guys want to be successful. I get it. But to use your audience like that in that format, in that fashion, it just goes against my ethics. You've never seen me do that, man. I've never made a course or you need to pay me for this. The most I've ever had is if I were on a Patreon, because it's not for me to take these guys' money and use it for no reason. Like, it just doesn't. These guys work hard for what they have, okay? There's enough money for everybody. With the little bitty money I can get, I can still reinvest. I can still do something. But to lie, to use just so I can have, it's terrible to think like that. It's awful to think like that. All right? It doesn't make sense. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Pretty sure for all you dudes heard the bell. We're out.